These acts that are happening, it's like the government itself is creating triggers. And I don't know why a government would like to do that. This matter actually, in my view, requires independent investigation, just like the Julie Ward case. To even IPOA, historically, they have not been able to really do work that one can go, can take home about and say that, well done and pat people on the back. Maybe the first IPOA, but subsequently, as the state learns how to capture, or government learns how to capture institutions, I think IPOA, by and large, have a problem, like most commissions and so-called independent offices. It is clear that he has died under police custody. And I thought that, strictly speaking, if we ask and we are told and we know who is the complainant, who sent those who went to pick Albert, who came with them, from where they picked him, and those who took the body to Baghdadi, who were there, and then at the central police station, it looks like even within that group, one can really get to the information. And I think maybe that is what Honorable Mheshimiwa is saying, that there is some confidential information that they have, which we hope will actually come out. And I think we are talking about maybe the commissions are improving and so on and so forth. I was in a meeting where all those commissions were discussing their work. And this was when His Excellency Rigathi was Deputy President. And all of them were saying that it is very difficult. They are not independent. They don't have money. They are interfered with. And it was just saying that actually, although it was supposed to be like a fourth arm of government, so that it can dilute imperial presidency, that vision of the constitution is yet to be achieved. So I think the pressures that are on these institutions, including EPOA, and individuals within them, are huge. And even this idea all the time from Kriegler, we talk about reform of the police. And I'm not saying I agree with what Jennifer, and I think even Waruga said, that there are police who are good people. But on the whole, if the police becomes reformed and professional, then the political system must become democratic. And unfortunately, a rogue executive needs a rogue police. I think that is the crux of the matter. And therefore, as an individual police person, even when you are senior, many times you are told, do this, and then you have to ask, do I do this because I want to continue to provide for my family? And to do what, for example, Talam, I think is supposed to have done, to say, I'll defend myself. I'm not really, many of them will not want to do, that kind of stuff. Now, if Albert is killed as he was killed, wouldn't that confirm that there was truth in what he said, and somebody wanted to really make sure that that truth is buried with him? Because if he defamed somebody, if there was libel, it is a matter of being taken, to civil court. And even if it's criminal libel, then again, under, the IT, laws, which themselves, their constitutionality is very suspect, then that is the proper procedure. You see, this matter is a very complicated matter, even for the executive and for the police services in general, because junior people are going to begin to say, junior police, that I don't think the senior police really would protect me, when that becomes necessary. Because if some things will be done, and then because I'm junior, I'm going to be told you are the murderer, and then I'm not. You see, in the entire police service, these junior people will say, I have to be very careful when I'm dealing with my seniors because they can always expose me and leave me to my own devices. So the way this matter is going to be resolved, I am suggesting and advising that a lot of care must be taken because it can actually weaken even a weak police system. And as I continue to insist that there are many people in the police force who are good, but it is designed in such a way that even when you're good, your goodness is not easily manifested. And so one therefore must ask, if a junior police person is involved in this matter, why would he murder Albert and is not aggrieved? Unless he's aggrieved. So that tells me that we have to scrutinize these junior people are being taken to court so that even law society, whoever, advocates for human rights, because also police have human rights, even when sometimes they are sent to destroy human rights. But to make sure that junior people who are not guilty, will also be protected. And finally, this matter of Albert Ojwang has demonstrated that people are still Kenyan. There is a lot of Kenyanness. People in, I think, Kilifi are saying that this is our guy. People where he was born, they are saying where his parents, the place of his parents, this is our person. Then also Nairobi, the young people. So it means that there is this new thing that is beginning perhaps to take root. And therefore, those who think that they can divide people into tribes and all that, maybe that time is coming to a close. And so, Dibal to land, the security of, activists or people who advocate for human rights must be taken to another level. Because if by the time that Albert was removed from his home area all the way to Nairobi, if people had raised an alarm and even followed him so that, the police followed as they bring him, and other, even vehicles are told up front, also follow this thing, maybe that exposure would have, saved this young teacher's life. And so this is a matter that must really be handled well, because I don't think it's just going to die as Albert died. The same thing will happen June 25th. Then I think this has backfired, and it has even made the young people, more angry. And even, as one listens, even their parents are saying that if there is any demonstration, now they are not going to allow their children to go and demonstrate alone. So I think in terms of the strategies that are adopted, particularly strategies that are going to bring the changes that also we have talked here, there have to be, proper strategies so that we don't dig the hole, so to speak, very deeply. And I think really the central point is just implementation of the Constitution. We took a lot of years, many years, from roughly 1988 during Mulolongo up to 2010 to make the Constitution. And so the basic thing that people are asking, particularly the young people, is just implement the Constitution. And all the things that are involved in it, many things will really be right, for us. And I think, therefore, that is what the executive, that is what the state, the government, all of them, they need just to put their minds to that and say, okay, this far we have gone, we have tried to be violent to our people, it's not working. So even actually, I don't know why there can't be a genuine national dialogue. I don't know who will instigate it, because the young people will really they might say we don't want so and so, to instigate and so on and so forth, like the government and so on. But I think this is something that will be valuable, and so I should say that in Tunisia, just one person, one hawker, Tarek El Tayeb Mohammed Bouzizi, he was able to, just because they were very unfair, he's asking just to get a license and a place to do his hawking, and they are refusing. So he bans himself, and that became the trigger. So even these acts that are happening, it's like the government itself is creating triggers. And I don't know why a government would like to do that. This matter actually, in my view, requires independent investigation, just like the Julie Ward case. To even IPOA, historically, they have not been able to really do work that one can go, can take home about and say that, well done, and pat people on the back. Maybe the first IPOA, but subsequently, as the state learns how to capture, or government learns how to capture institutions, I think IPOA, by and large, have a problem, like most commissions and so-called independent offices. So an independent investigation would be important, and because even after the Maraga police reform investigation and report, the police are behaving as if, the senior police are behaving as if Maraga did nothing. He just came and it was business as usual. So, and finally, therefore, let me ask Honorable George, in 2023, ODM asked for demonstrations and youth were killed, and they were very, 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 ODM was really, they went to town and said, this is not correct, this shouldn't be done. These young people, this is their right. And even ODM took a case through Paul Mwangi to court. I don't know how far that case is, and how different, therefore, the 2024 situation and now the Ojwang situation, how different it is from how Honorable Raila Odinga used to talk and to defend these young people. Can that come back? And let me, Debal, yield and say, good night, and really thank you with Benji for work that you do, which is first class.